Pittsburgh, south of Fort Scott. They're so pretty. We've seen a lot of them on this trip, and I wasn't sure what they are. They're all up and down the roads. Okay, bye. This is the high school where Mom and a lot of her brothers and sisters went to school. It's been made into a middle school now in Pittsburgh, Kansas. Zoom back here. It's a beautiful building. Just drove all the way around it. And this is where she was in school. Big old brick building. Oh, Mom just said she was in love with 2 or 3 guys. Oh man, what a deal. It no longer says Pittsburgh High School. This is the front of Ike and Hazel Harkin's home in Pittsburgh, Kansas. Hazel is my dad's sister, and Mom and I arrived here today, and Alice and Hazel were both here, both of my dad's sisters. Hazel had brought Alice from her farm last night. They spent the night here. And then this is the back side of Pittsburgh, what was Pittsburgh High School, where a bunch of my Mom's siblings went to school. It's right across the street. And this is the car. It's Kim Fulton's car that we're driving. We drove it clear up from Leavenworth, Kansas today. It's hot, man. Our plan is to go, the 4 of us, and pick up Aunt Ginger at her apartment, take her out to Liberal in Mulberry, then have supper, bring her back here later on. Bye-bye. Okay. I want to show you some of these folks here. Here's my Aunt Alice, Dad's oldest sister, and Ginger and Mom. And over here, Hazel, don't move.
Ah, come on.
There's Hazel. Okay, this is the gravesite of Beulah, my grandmother.
Now here's...
And right next door is Lonnie.
Oh.
This is the Rosebank Cemetery.
Hey, look at that.
Okay, this is the
Probably beginning that
cemetery stone
I like to know what Dickie that
for
is.
my great-grandfather and Sarah Camilla, his wife, James Meriwether Wilson. Born in 1844, died in 1922. I can't see the dates for some. I'll get the whole stone
I want
here.
to go look at this over here again.
This is my great-grandparents. On the bottom it says, blessed are their son, who died when he was about 20.
Grandpa Wilson's mother.
It's the gravestone of James Meriwether Wilson's mother. This would be my great-great-grandmother, but we can't read any of the work on the stone.
I heard that.
Now we have some pictures in my scrapbooks of these Craftons, and they are related to the Wilson side of the family. And here's Emily and Paul with the dates of their birth and death. And I just happened to see this stone over here. Came over to get a picture. Okay, bye-bye. There's a big oak tree about half a mile down the road from Alice's, and this was kind of destroyed recently by a tornado, just about 3 weeks ago. The storm also took out some telephone poles in this area, but I haven't heard of any houses or other buildings being damaged. Just topped the thing. Okay, now we're going to Alice's. We're in Liberal. Hello. Okay, here's Alice's mailbox. It's all wired together on the post here. And I'm just going to pan It's all grown up, but we have pictures when there was no shrubs around here. Here's the driveway. Other buildings. Live. Very beautiful home. And here's a brand new building house that's only been here about 3 months. So this is definitely an older building where Alice lives. We'll go look closer. The little flower bed Alice has on the far side of her house. And then over here is her garden. I thought Mark would enjoy this. There's beets, lettuce, beans, beets, carrots, broccoli, lots of onions. Where I think she used to keep her animals and also have a lot bigger garden area. Okay, maybe we'll go inside the house now. Oh, now hush. I can get even with you, Ginger. This is relatively painless. Here are two of my aunts and my mother. What a carload.
Look at this. I wonder what that is. I hate cameras. Look at that.
Too bad.
That's a
You don't
weed.
have any choice. I don't know what kind of bird this is. Isn't that a gorgeous bird? Now that the sun's on it, I can see it's a red bird.
And so Alice said, well, she put the key in the little horse house, and I can feed and water her.
This is the front porch at Alice's that faces the road here. Now Alice has sold this property and the house to a couple, and they're letting her live here. So she's paying the taxes and stuff. This is inside the front door of Alice's house. And I think right over here, Mark, remember they used to have a huge stove here. Huge, I forget what kind of stove you call it. And now it's a small little wood stove. But I mean, this other wood stove was 8 or 9 feet tall, it seems like.
And then I paid him vet fees.
Does this heat real good, Alice? Is this his?
Mark, this is the bedroom where we spent the night.
Yeah. We've got it down.
And this is the very window that Stan came in the middle of the night during a storm to shut the window and scared us both spitless.
I think the same thing.
And here's a picture of a relative of mine. Now, who was she? Oh, Alice Curl, my great-grandfather's. She's a great-grandmother. This is the bathroom where I came in to turn the water on for a bath after traveling all day on the way to Kentucky, and it was black and smelly coming out of that water spout. And so then Hazel says we went into Pittsburgh and I had a shower at her house.
The cats stay inside.
That's the way the story goes. This is the barn where they used to keep and milk a bunch of cows. It's out behind the house, a couple 100 feet. There's the fields out behind Alice's. Beautiful bird songs out here. Building, I don't know what this was used for. It was for critters, I'm sure. I think we're leaving to go back to Pittsburgh. This is Lonnie and Beulah Wilson's house in Liberal, Missouri, and I can remember being here when I was a teenager. When we came to visit. Front porch with a swing. Catalpa trees in the front yard, and look at the beams on this thing. I saw my first catalpa tree today, I mean since I've been back. Aren't those awesome? There's the house. I went and knocked on the door to get permission to do this, but nobody was home. Okay, this is the Methodist church where my dad's family attended in Liberal. It's over 100 years old, Hazel says. This is a huge crane tower in Liberal. Dad used to work for this outfit in Springfield, Missouri, and my uncle Ike used to work for it here in Liberal. Huge complex of buildings, but this is a real landmark, this tower. Lipscomb,
I think.
picture here of downtown Liberal. This is one side of the street. Some of the local gents, a local cop, hello. This is it. There's not much of the downtown area. There's Hazel's car, and Alice is in the front seat, and Mom and Ginger in the back. It's being turned into a restaurant, I think, run by Christians. There's Christian words and symbols on it. Now down right back in there is where my great-grandpa Frank Curl had his mill. We've got a picture of that, but the building is all gone, but that's the area, Alice says. And here's Lipscomb's big grain and seed company. Not much. This is the new Liberal High School. I'm not sure how old it is, but we just drove out here and I thought I should jump out and get some pictures of it. Flags and all, and there's Hazel's car. Now we're going to go look at the old school where the three Wilson kids used to go, Alice, Hazel, and now this is a huge building, but this central part here was the high school that my dad and his two sisters attended. And then in years after that, they added on a huge wing out there, other end. But this central part here was where they all went to school. Isn't that neat? Still being used. Two-story tall building. I bet it got hot in there. Well, actually, it looks like there's basement windows, so 3 stories, I guess.
There's a story you won't believe.
At a chicken restaurant.
Say that again, I told you.
Going into Hazel's kitchen this morning.
When is it that Opal is coming in? What time is it that Opal's coming in?
Do you know, Susan?
Oh, I didn't know.
They're trading it in for a dry goods store and added ready to wear. Grandpa heard on his 3 grandkids, as long as he
When
could
is it?
stand it, I guess.
Wendy
Then
looks more suited to have her picture taken than anybody else.
married Mrs. Switzel, or is that Whitesell?
Weitzel.
Whitesell. He died from a stroke in 1922.
Alice is reading a history of Liberal,
Dad and a friend, Charlie Beckman,
and Mom is reading a history of Liberal, of the family that Alice
was
wrote.
buying so, handing chickens, eggs. She's got a wonderful
Miss
message.
Hazel has in her hall.
That's right. Hazel and I both married in 30, and Jim went to see.
This is Dad, Hazel, and Alice. I have this same picture. And just over here, there's
Hazel and I both married.
Beulah and Lonnie.
Now who's writing it, Alice?
I don't know what year that was. I hope this works.
Grandpa Curl.
And this is a really good picture.
One in Pennsylvania.
Alice is standing,
Raised 5
and
young,
baby
his mother, unable to earn
Hazel in
living,
the chair.
apprenticed him to a steamroller.
This is the road out of Pittsburgh that goes down to what used to be Meadowbrook Farm, where the Pence children were raised. Now I'm going to go over here. This is the ring of trees that has grown up around the lake on Meadowbrook Farm. We're going to try to get closer, but there's a lot of poison ivy where I am now, and there's chiggers out there in that there grass field, and none of us really want to go out there in the chiggers. So we'll see what we can do here. We'll try to get closer. I can see the shore of the lake from one point back there on the road. And I want to just get some pictures of these beautiful wild roses here along the edge of the road. Okay, we've driven a lot farther down the road that I was on just a minute ago. And this metal structure is part of the old windmill that was on the farm. And we'll get closer here, and we're coming up to where the barn was.
Over there out of the way.
Here's a metal wagon wheel or some sort of wheel for a piece of farm equipment. Just on the side of the road. Could have been Grandpa's, who knows? Could have been the people that came here afterwards. Now this is the field in front of the barn and the house. And they used to call this the meadow, the house. Huge meadow that went out. And she doesn't think this is the pond that was in front of the house. So we're gonna try to find the pond. We're gonna try to film the place where the house was too. Okay, here we are at the base of this windmill. I guess it probably used to bring water up to the ground level for the cows, and it's all overgrown with some vine plant. Ginger just says she climbed halfway up there once and was scared spitless. Now just across the road here from where we're sitting, we came in this way. They think this might be the remains of part of the barn that Virgil and Ivy had at their place. Let me try to back this thing up. That's about all the remains there are here to this day. It's excellent. This is the area where all moved in since the Pences lived here. But
For strangers.
this is
nothing.
this is the
familiar.
area where the Pence kids were raised.
Can't believe it. You know,
The house
Ginger?
is gone.
Yeah, house is gone. Also might have been here, nobody's quite certain. But we can see some cement things back there.
Now, in the backyard, Winnie, was an apple tree.
Is there still an apple tree?
I'm trying my best to see if there's an apple tree. In the front yard were two big trees, and one of them was divided by the...
Yeah, we really don't know, but this could be the area where the house was. Now the Pences had a grape arbor. Don't get out.
I'm not.
And I noticed grapes in all these trees along this row here.
Could be wild grapes, too.
They could be wild, or they could just be grapes that
From our original farm.
have lived from the Meadowbrook Farm.
And it probably is just further.
The fact is that Dad was the one that started people using soy.
This was corn and
You know-
wheat and soybeans.
He was up on everything, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
He really was.
He was a smart man. He
Huge
wasn't educated,
field.
but he was smart.
That's right.
160
So was
some
Mom.
acres, I
Mhm.
think.
Right
They
on.
leased this. They tried to raise the money
Both of
For a
them
down
had
payment
family-
to
both
purchase the
family
farm.
Many times. The wheat caught on fire. It was what kind of combustion?
Some
It-
kind of
It
combustion.
was a combustion because of the combustion of the wheat.
Oh my
There
goodness.
was a fire, and that's what happened to the barn.
They lost the barn.
And a
They
barn.
lost the barn.
That was
The
a
barn-
huge barn.
Shut up, Winnie. The barn was full of
will not.
Hey,
Now,
Oh.
okay, Ginger, this field I'm looking at, was this part of the field that Grandpa used too
yes.
for crops?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And it just goes over to those trees. This was,
Uh-huh.
that was the final 40 acres.
Okay.
That, the man that bought the Meadowbrook farm
Uh-huh.
put a house right up there by the road on this 40 acres
Uh-huh.
for his son.
Uh-huh.
What
And-
happened to it?
And
And,
it-
his son has sold it. He's moved someplace else.
And it's gone now, huh?
It's gone now. And
Now,
they're
this is what Ginger calls the meadow. It was in front of the house and barn, and they used this for hay to feed the cattle. They never let the cows in here to eat because she says if the cows got in here and ate the hay, then weeds would come in, and so they never let the cows in this acreage here. They grew this for hay, and then I suppose the cows ate it all winter. We're on our way back out to the highway now. This is the house in Pittsburgh where Bud and Ginger lived, and if you can see that little horse, it says Wilson on there. Someone named Jim Wilson lives in this house today. Isn't that too much? So we'll back out and get a picture of the whole place here. This is where Mark and I stayed on our way to or from Kentucky. They live right here on this nice corner. I always thought we stayed in an upstairs bedroom, but it wasn't. Bud added on this carport here. Oh, Ginger wants to go talk to the owner, just say who she is and stuff. Looks like somebody's home here, so we'll see what they have to say.
It could be. Turn it the other direction.
No, now Hazel, you just ignore this. This is inside Ginger's apartment. Got Mom.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Say
yes.
it ain't so.
There's the front door.
She got me when I stepped out there to see what was going on. She what? She's taking pictures in there, you know?
Now, Mother, don't say that. We'll never get Ginger out of the kitchen.
Are you intended to be gone, or do you know
I
yet?
don't know. I meant to ask Susan. I tell them, you know, they don't tell me anything. I just have to forget.
Feel sorry for her, Hazel. Feel
Huh?
sorry. Feel sorry for Ginger.
No, no. Bad idea.
Somebody needs to.
No.
My, what a beautiful day this is. Isn't it something?
It's getting warmer though, Winnie.
These plates up on the wall were
I know.
painted by Bud Fulton's mother.
You gals can't say this country fools you out.
No way.
Isn't
I
that
should
really
say
pretty?
not.
Do what? Oh.
He's getting-
I wanted.
Hi, Ginger. Can I help you make gravy?
See the look on- see
No,
Ginger's face when
you
she
can
saw
get
it.
out of here.
Oh, what a sweetheart.
Mm.
This is lunch at Ginger's.
You didn't know Jim back in these strawberry picking days, did you?
No, I don't think so. Maybe I did.
I think the last 2 years before you got out of high school.
No, I didn't know
Me and a
that.
bunch of the guys had some kind of old job, and Lord only knows where they got it. Went off down to the berry fields down east here.
Is there-
I bet they ate that place a bit.
I don't doubt that at all.
Came across J.D. Armstrong, that was the guy.
Who was the first one?
Cale Clark.
Cale Clark.
Oh,
You know, a couple of kids like
Yeah,
that, it's
sure.
possible.
I have no idea what they did.
it really was a jalopy.
I need your dinner.
I'm getting there.
This is more than I can handle, I think. Oh.
And somebody's watching over there, taking a picture, and I just hate to talk.
Tell the story. I'm listening.
And my mother said that turkeys were the dumbest animals. That barn over there,
Right here.
they would get up on that. That was the highest thing
Highest
around
peak
there.
they could find.
That was the
huh?
highest
Yes.
place on the farm, and they would get right up there on the top.
That was a big barn.
I was gonna say, that's a tremendous
a
sized
huge
barn.
Rain or shine,
I mean,
I'm
there
not
were
through.
two of them.
I'm not through.
There were two of them.
I'm not through. One was big, rain or shine. They got up there. And if it rained, they'd hold their head up to the rain with their mouth open. And
They were thirsty like Winnie gets, where they're winning.
they would drown.
Oh.
All right, that's the end of that story.
And
I never heard that.
not every one of
Listen,
them,
this is
but
my sister.
there's always one of them would drown. And they'd come tumbling down to the ground. And my mother would go out there and
Now,
Kill
this
it.
is supposed to be the truth.
I don't
this
know.
is the truth.
Okay.
This is, so help me. I got too many truthful things to tell you. I don't have to lie.
Well, I don't know. But you can make up a good story.
I probably could, but I don't have to.
That's something.
That goes in our pile to make copies of.
It was really special because the girls were not
Hi,
allowed,
Alice.
you know, down there. And when we got into the barn, that was something real special.
We ought to do something with her for that. Both leaves down there, and if she doesn't get away from the camera, I'm going to shoot.
Finish your story.
Get used to it, Ginger.
I had a, both of them grew. I couldn't get rid of one of them. And so they both grew, and one grew up this way and had flowers on this side. One grew up this way and had flowers on this side. And I was thrilled to death. I always had a flower there, and it just was a great big bunch.
That's one of these?
One of those.
Hmm.
Judy came there one day, and she, that's the strangest looking African violet I ever saw.
We're leaving Pittsburgh now, but I wanted to get this shot of Pittsburgh State University. It's got a beautiful, huge building behind it. That tan car is there. That's the car that we're driving. Mom's in there. Thanks a lot, Kim Fulton. The flagpole out in front of what probably was one of the main buildings of the school. It's a beautiful campus. Lots of beautiful brick buildings like this. Okay, we're going to pick up Ginger Fulton and head back to Leavenworth. Bye-bye. Go ahead and start.
The blood that flowed in Kansas before and during the Civil War nourished the twin trees, these twin trees of liberty and union. Isn't
Okay,
that
we stopped in
interesting?
Fort Scott on our way to
I
Leavenworth.
don't understand that.
Well, see these twin trees? They're fake, but
Yeah.
this is a memorial in Fort Scott. Beautiful marble wall with flags flying above. And then there's two walls behind it full of people's names who have fought in the wars from Kansas, from this area. This is a blockade house built on the original site of Fort Scott. And then this is where the flags are and the marble walls, these old fort buildings. Now, we're still in Fort Scott, and Ginger said that this is the house where my Uncle Dan, or Othel was his name, and his wife lived in Fort Scott, and that they had a store right next door here. Store is gone, but we thought we'd stop and take a look at it. Now we're trying to back off a little bit. Okay, we're off the freeway, and we're north of Fort Scott. I just wanted to pan and get a view of this area. Here's an old deserted farmhouse. You can hear the cars on the highway, but it's rolling farmland. There's huge wheat fields, cows down there. just to give you an idea what it looks like in this part of Kansas. You can hear the birds singing. There's bright red cardinals in this state. This is Highway 69 that'll take us clear to Leavenworth. This is about 6 or 7 in the evening. So we have got quite a drive down to Leavenworth to Jack and Judy's. There's a huge wheat field back down here. Historical marker here in Kansas, Battle of Mine Creek in October 1864. A Confederate army under General Sterling Price was defeated near Kansas City. He retreated south, crossed into Kansas, and camped at trading post. Early on the morning of October 25th, Union troops under Generals Pleasanton, Blunt, and Curtis forced him from this position, and a few hours later the Battle of Mine Creek was fought over these fields. Confederate forces were thrown into confusion as they tried to cross the steep, slippery banks of the stream. In the close fighting on the bottoms, hundreds of rebel soldiers were captured, including General Marmaduke, who was taken by a 20-year-old private. Although Union forces missed a chance to destroy Price's army, the defeat was decisive enough to end the threat of a rebel invasion of Kansas. About 25,000 men were engaged, more than in any other Kansas battle. Oh, Mine Creek is down here somewhere, and that's where a Kansas Civil War battle happened. 25,000 people involved. We're at a rest stop. That's why you can hear a truck motor. Okay, we came a little bit farther and got off the road again. Here's the Mine Creek battlefield. It's a state historic site. It's a huge flat area with few trees. Maybe after they got out of the creek, they fought here. I don't know. Got out of the creek bed or something. It's a huge valley. It's just in grass. This was a Civil War battlefield and maintained by the state at this point. 25,000 men fought out here, and the rebels were defeated in Kansas, never to return. It's really a beautiful area.
I'm just ready to throw something at
Well, you asked me a
Just
question.
live with
I'm
it,
talking
Ginger.
about her.
Huh?
I'm talking about her.
Tell us some more of your pathetic little story here.
You lost me, kiddo. You lost me.
Well, I started to tell something, and there she is with that. Lived over
Not
here.
Carlos. Who was that lived over there?
That was a horn. That he was the son of the man that bought the farm.
Vanderbilt?
Okay, he let him have this 40 acres over here. That is, the two of them owned all of it.
I see.
But he had this, had actually started. And Dan thought that he didn't keep moving it. So
They
they
blamed
both
each other.
felt, and Dad said, just don't anybody blame anybody. It happened and we can't do anything about it. And it's,
That was a good way to look at it. That
Yeah.
was that was Dad.
see, there's she doing it.
Here's Daisy the dog.
You fill the can up.
Hey Daisy, waggle your tail. Oh
She would eat
yeah.
every one I gave.
Well, now, where'd you say
love
these
you.
mice came from?
That, the corn.
The
bin.
corn bin.
We're back at Jack and
Was
Judy's
that
house
yellow
now.
That was yellow.
Yellow
It's 10
corn.
o'clock at night.
Uh,
Friday night. Tomorrow and Sunday
you
are
don't
the
know the name of that,
reunion.
do you? The yellow corn, just yellow corn.
I just bought yellow corn.
Oh dear. How old were you there? Then?
Oh, I was probably about 10. I blame everything on being 10.
Well, if you were 10, I was 12 or.
Right.
Oh, them were the days, Ginger. Goodness sake.
wonder if Opal remembers when the first time she tried to drive.
Well, be sure and ask her.
You remember, huh?
Oh, I'll always remember.
Was it a truck or was it a car?
No, it was car. It was a car. It was a Model T Ford.
Uh-huh.
No, it was a Model A Ford. Boy.
We're at Fort Leavenworth
Stay
where
back.
Jack works,
In
and
North
this is at a place called the Buffalo Soldier Monument.
Yeah, and under this monument are 7 buffalo soldiers. No.
Inactivated. Not 44. What do you mean?
This is a monument to black soldiers
Black soldiers,
in the U.S. Army. This, I assume this is a bronze statue here
Is it bronze, Jack?
yeah.
in the middle of this beautiful pond.
There's a library on one side and classrooms on another.
Uh-huh.
On the other side is the main building, and we'll drive around and you can see that. You may want to even get a picture of the front of it because it's got a big lamp and some other
Okay.
things on it. But there are about 800 U.S. and I think about 400 Allied students going through here every year, and the mix of those varies for different reasons. So there's a substantial influx of foreign personnel. The guy that lived next to us was for a while was a Saudi, still is a Saudi. He doesn't live there anymore.
Uh-huh, right.
And
Now tell us what this is, Jack.
that's a general instruction building,
No, the whole school is
a
called...
Command and General Staff College,
Okay.
IRA graduate.
Yes, you went to that.
I,
But you went to it in different places.
yeah, I took it by correspondence.
Right.
What they do is they mail you a cardboard picture of this building and you assemble it. There's bubbles in here.
Yes, that means it's clean water, right?
No, that is those.
What?
those
Don't believe it.
What?
One look at his wife.
original Indian bubble pipe soda. That's what that's the soap they used at the turn of the century in the Indian camps when they
Now,
blew bubbles, and they put
This
that in here.
is a story.
You see a couple more things,
This
and here are
is
a couple
the-
more stories.
The sculpture here from this beautiful pond down to this one. And then you look right across. To this Command and General Staff College. Top military commanders from all around the world come here to study our allies. I mean, they are our allies. Then they go back to their home countries to become presidents and military leaders. The view of the upper pond at this memorial. Colin Powell came here, and Jack met him a couple times, and Colin Powell was instrumental in getting this beautiful memorial put here at Fort Leavenworth. Dear and Mom. We gotta get Jack. Smile, Jack!
It's down over here, and then it's hard to see because of the tree lines, but there is another old road that on the other side of the river is a federal penitentiary farm.
Oh, the Leavenworth
yeah,
one?
Well, yeah. Well, I think it is. I think it's the federal one, but I'm not sure. It could be these guys. But there's a farm on this side for this penitentiary.
Okay.
Yeah, every
Now this is the
penitentiary has its own
Missouri
farm.
River, right?
Missouri River. Now
And
we're going
it's
to
foggy
drive.
today.
When it would go meander from those hills over there. It was 4-mile wide bed. It was very shallow. Engineers came in here and dug this channel
Oh, I
to
see.
make it navigable.
Uh-huh.
Weston, if you could see through it, you can. It's about 6 miles over that way on the river.
Uh-huh.
It was built as a riverfront town. Doing just great. Had a flood when they woke up, but now it's kind of there permanently.
Okay, and there used to be...
Highway turn.
Right.
You can't see the abutment, but I think it's right straight across there. In this winter, you can.
These stone and cement steps used to go down to the bridge, and then I guess you could walk or ride across the bridge.
Yeah, well, it's a highway bridge.
A what?
A highway bridge, regular highway
You mean
bridge.
for
and
old cars?
For cars, and the politics of it were who got the first major bridge across the river, and it wasn't Leavenworth, it was Kansas City River.
Oh.
So by building it over here, where
Uh-huh.
it was more difficult to get to militarily, is probably a good idea. But as a practical matter, Kansas City got bigger faster because it's on the other side of the river.
Well, sure. Is
if-
there a couple of French cannons here by this bridge location?
You can tell they're French because if you get real close, it kind of smells like lilac.
White lilac. Cardinals up here. And I thought I'd try to zoom.
And Grant and Sherman.
This is
Ah,
Grant Hall, where
yeah.
Jack works.
Now these, if you can see this from the back,
Uh-huh.
Sheridan Hall actually sticks out that way, Sherman Hall actually sticks out that way, and Grant Hall connects them. This building was built around 1914 or 1911, somewhere around that time. And they connected all those buildings, so they could build this building straight across.
So they connected this.
Yeah. Well, actually, they didn't really jack it up, but the stairs are just crazy inside.
Oh, I see. So now, when were these buildings built, generally?
This one across the front, generally the first part of this century.
Uh-huh.
The ones behind it were built earlier.
Uh-huh.
There was an arsenal built in what now is Finance on the other side of this building, the big old brick building. And it was a target for a marauding band of Confederates during the war, but they never got here.
Yes, discipline barracks. It's the only remaining maximum security prison for military
I have to go.
personnel, okay, in the country. Side of the discipline barracks, and it was built partly with prison labor. Huge blocks of stone.
Jack's ears too.
Where's Jack? Jack is here.
Kansas City Airport, the three Pences, we're in for big trouble now. This is Judy Fulton, Winnie Wilson, Opal Williams, thank you, and Ginger Fulton. All right.
Has joined the group. Here she is. Susan, wave at us. And there's Opal and Ginger in the middle now, and Winnie, and we're looking for Jack.
And Jack's at the men's room.
Wouldn't you know? We better wait till he comes back.
Okay, thank you. There's Opal greeting Jack.
Oh, isn't this good? You want to right there, Nana. I was somewhere down the road. I don't know who that is. You see this? Do you have a pencil, Ginger? That's
This is Jack and Judy's home in Leavenworth. We just got home from the airport. What are you doing? Just got home from Kansas City Airport with Opal, and he's taking her bag in. 1320 Independence Court. Neighbors mowing the lawn. We're going to take this van, the Lawrence, and one of their other vehicles. There's Opal at the piano. Hi, Opal! Yes. Wow.
Jack has refinished.
Yes, to this point in his
It's
life.
actually curved wood.
Isn't that
Great.
neat?
Now,
It is
Mark, can
not-
you see the wood curved here on the drawer front?
Well, look at the green.
It is not pressed wood or
Look,
wood that
there's
has
Mom and
been
Dad.
The
moistened
dog
and
is licking
formed.
my foot. Okay,
You
dog.
get the dog.
Be complimented.
Who owned it? Tell them who owned
It belonged to mine, Mom and Dad.
Your family.
All right.
It has a mirror that goes with it,
For
but-
sure.
That's really nice work, Jack.
Isn't that nice?
Really,
It's
look
spent
that
4
picture,
months in
Mom
my
and Dad.
garage.
I have the same philosophy. Let me just see if I'm Dull women have immaculate homes. I love this. This is for you, Mark. Okay. Okay, here's Jen. What? What'd you say? She loves cameras, right?
I don't have my glasses on, and you're always taking a picture, so you've got them with mine.
Now this is Stan Pence. Now, Stan, tell us who you are. Who are you related to?
That lady.
Uncle Alfred Pence. And this is his wife, Vi. Oh, I'm sorry. Lucille Pence. Okay.
Well, I said turn around.
There we go. Now don't bring it up. Judy. Oh, my God.
Okay, over here by Ginger is Bob Pence and his wife, Annabelle. This is Bob and Annabelle Pence. He is the daughter. He is the son. Mother, do you mind? He is the son of Carlos Pence. Effie Pence.
And daughter of Effie Candace Smith Jones.
And I'm Alice Johns Redis, daughter of Effie Smith Johns.
And I'm Yolanda Teresa Redis, daughter of Alice Jones Redis, granddaughter of Effie Smith Johns.
I'm Nick Fernando Redis, and I'm son of Yolanda Redis.
Great grandson of Effie Smith.
Go ahead.
I'm supposed to tell you who I am, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm Phyllis Maxwell, and this is Marvin, and I'm Stella's granddaughter.
Stella who?
Stella Smith Baker,
Okay. And where do you live?
Santa Barbara, California.
Okay.
You have to tell who you are.
Oh.
She's ready.
Oh, me?
Yes.
I'm Beulah Pepper. I'm the daughter of Zach Smith.
Okay.
I'm Frances Jenkins, the granddaughter of Zach Smith.
Right.
And this is my husband, O.D.
And I'm O.D. the husband.
Okay, Yolanda.
And I'm Elwanda Fisher, and I'm the daughter of Beulah Pepper. And this is my husband, my first husband of 47 years, Jerry Fisher.
My father was Dan Smith. And this is my husband, Jerry McCoy. We live in the big metropolis of Indianapolis, Indiana.
Okay, Ralph.
This is my wife, Katie. I'm Ralph Smith. This is my brother, Richard, and his son, Matthew.
And tell us who you're related to.
We are the children of Ira Smith.
The two in the middle are children of Ira Smith.
Right.
You need to be in here.
I know, I'm trying to figure out who's going to take the picture.
Us kids are gonna be out in front.
Cousin Jack and his family, Opal and Mom and Kim and her husband.
Start with the blue dress.
You ready for me to start talking?
Yeah.
I'm Bob Pence. This is my wife Annabelle. I'm son of Carlos and Laverne Pence, grandson of Virgil and Ivy.
Oh, that sounds good. Am I supposed to talk now?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm
Can you remember?
Rita Paulhamus. My husband is Tom Paulhamus, and we're descendants of Myrtle and Jim Watson, and our grandparents are Ivy and Virgil Pence. I made it.
Give you A for
I'm
effort.
Rosemary
Cashman, and that's my sister, Rita. Anyway, same relationship.
I'm Ginger Fulton, Geneva Pence, daughter of Ivy and Virgil Pence. That's all.
And then my whole family. Your whole
I'm
family.
Ginger's daughter, Joyce. These two are my children, Aaron and Amber. This is my brother, Jack. And he can carry on. You can introduce your family.
I just came for the meal.
That's what you think.
I'm Jack Fulton and Ginger's son. And this is Judy Fulton, my wife. And
Kimberly.
No.
No.
Oh,
Kimberly's gone.
Kimberly's over here.
Kimberly's there. Chrissy's here, and Polly's there.
I'm Opal Williams. I had a twin brother, Othel, which we'll have to call Dan now. I'm a daughter of Virgil and Ivy Pence.
Okay, I'm Wendy Wilson, and I live up in north of Seattle. And well, I'm a daughter of Ivy and Virgil Pence.
And I'm her daughter, Susan Wilson Denham, from Washington State.
I'm Glennis Porter, daughter of Carlos and Laverne Pence, granddaughter of Ivy and Virgil Pence. And this is my husband Kurt, and my daughter Kim Colley, her husband Jerry, and one of the granddaughters, Sarah. Oh, Carrie. Now, the only thing is, we've got to do this tomorrow when the rest of them are here. Because there's more people coming tomorrow.
Boy.
Okay,
Okay, man, that's probably good.
Mountains in Washington call us sisters, you know.
You got it? You got it?
Okay. This is the Pence cousins. To do another one, Aaron,
The
look
next
down.
generation. Go.
I'm Stanley Epson Pence, nephew of Uncle Virgil Pence,
And son?
and
Son of?
and son of Alfred Pence. Yeah.
There you go. Thank you. And your wife?
This is my wife Violet.
Hi,
My
Violet.
daughter Mary Jane.
Hi, Mary Jane.
And my sister Lucille.
So Lucille is a daughter of Alfred.
Alfred Pence.
Alfred Pence. Okay, thanks, guys.
That evening. Of course, she passed away October the
We
27th.
put together the Smith family book. Barbara Grover. Ginger's got it. Alice John's with us.
One more.
Opal. John's red.
Good old.
Sam Ginger. There's Bob Pence, my Uncle Carlos's son.
Oh, for goodness, look here, somebody cut him out.
Oh my goodness.
There's Judy.
You
Here's
cut
my
out Jim
cousin
Watson.
Joyce. Jack and Jim's sister.
Did I see
And her
these?
husband
Holly,
Karen.
did you want to be in the picture?
And Amber. Hi, Amber. There's Joyce and Carrie's two children. Okay, we're gonna
Put these back over there.
two Pences.
That is just
Opal, hello. Hello, Opal. Hi.
Doesn't work.
Yeah. Bolton. Carrie. Here's Mary. Joyce. Bolton.
These are pretty simple.
And Judy at the sink.
I walk every day. Oh my gosh.
Hi, Opal.
She's sneaking up on us in the house.
Nice double exposure. Isn't that cute?
Oh my goodness. Every time I look up, she's taking a. Oh.
Don't look so happy, Ginger.
This is in their backyard.
You just made it.
When, Laverne looks awful thin here.
Yeah.
Well, she used to be awful thin. You know.
Keep telling your story,
What is it
Opal.
Oh, well, what do you remember about her?
What do you remember?
When we lived out on the Meadowbrook, we had that little house out there.
Yeah.
And you know.
You mean a milk house? No.
Yeah, and they moved into that.
Yes, they did.
They lived there for a while.
Now, who moved into the milk house?
Went in,
No.
Carson
Carson
Laverne
Laverne.
And that's where Bob was born. Is that right?
Now, wait. Bob told me he was born in that house across the road.
Right.
Yesterday he said that.
One
And
of the
Carlos
kids
and
was born
Laverne.
there. One of the kids was born there.
When they lived in that milkhouse, one of them
The oldest one, yes, one of them. Who was older?
On the rail, not on people. Yeah. Oh. Okay, this is the backyard at Jack and Judy's. Got a deck here. And they planted these. Now these are maple trees, right? Silverleaf or... Well, I can't believe these are only 13 years old.
Oh, you should have seen this one. We planted that. I had a friend of mine who's a minister in, I guess he's now in, it's not Olathe, Paola. But he came over and we had a cold snap. We had bought the tree and stuck it under my deck. It was just in a big bowl.
Yeah, right.
And there was a cold snap came. And Judy insisted that we had to put that tree in the ground. And I said, it can't possibly survive. I mean, it's in an ice ball. That didn't do any good. She said, get out there. So we hacked a hole in the ground. We brought out dish pan full of hot water and planted that tree.
Out.
I knew it was going to die. I mean, I thought it was dead when we went in
Which
there.
one was it now?
This one here.
It had a rough beginning. It was planted in a cold snap. But it's bigger than the other one. It's done really well. 13 years.
And it had a major limb off. We had to.
Yeah, Judy mentioned. I throw the ball for the dog here. She's a big, beautiful golden retriever called Duchess. Oh, she's gorgeous.
She likes you to chase her with the ball.
Oh, I see.
And she'll give up a little bit. When I mow the yard, she takes that ball and she follows you. She puts it right in front of the lawnmower, and you have to pick it up and throw it.
Duchess, you didn't like that doghouse, did you?
We started after that. We just got straw, a bale of straw or something, and throw it under here every once in a while, and she sleeps under the deck.
This is the spot where the fancy doghouse was that Jack bought.
I dropped a soda can pop right out there.
And the dog wouldn't go in it, and they finally got rid of it. It cost $60.
It says Ark is not a cat's meow thing.
The Ark?
Yeah, Queen one that comes up at Halloween. And
Oh, cool. You've got seasonal stuff.
Yeah, they have a little fresh piece.
Oh, cool. Now this is Cat's Meow Pieces. And this is the federal penitentiary here at Leavenworth.
And those are buffalo. They're buffalo out there. The real building is bigger.
Do you believe him?
He is so pathetic. I can't get a straight
I a lot of times go right in there, that little door. Up there, just point the
Now
wrong
this
direction.
building is called the Beehive. Give us a little history, Jack, and make it straight, okay?
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Impossible.
This is the Beehive.
I already said that.
Okay. In case you missed it, this is the Harvey house that the guy.
No, tell us about the Beehive. That's what I'm focused on.
That was the one that they built from the inside out. That they had to put the big steel girders on.
Okay.
Because
This is just the
it's on the
shell.
National Historical Register. You can't change
Right,
it.
they couldn't mess with the outside, but they wanted to use it, so they took it apart, and it's completely different on the inside.
Yeah. The only problem was they assembled it upside down when they fixed it. It looks like something from the 50s.
This is the Command and General Staff College.
Yeah, that's it here at
This
Leavenworth.
big symbol out in front. It's my dad's favorite song now, Opal. In fact, he used to sing this a lot.
I always remembered Adele.
Yes, that was his favorite song.